What is happening, everybody? Trey here, joined as always by my dad Sean, and today reactions to the classics. We got a big one. We got a reaction to Pearl Jam's debut record 10, and this comes courtesy of suggestion from our patron, friend, and longtime supporter of the channel, Alan. Alan, thanks so much. I know this is one of his favorite records of all time. And so I'm looking forward to diving into it. I think 4 or 5 of the songs, but they're, the first 4 or 5 of the first 6 songs on here. So with the back half of the record, I'm really looking forward to diving into. Before we get to that, though, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. That helps us out, as well as hit that big red subscribe button if you like what you see here today. And if you would maybe like to have us react to a song or a record or whatever, you can check out our Patreon page, and that is linked down below. Shout out to the patrons who help keep this channel running, and definitely be sure to follow us on social media and Twitch as well. But all that to say, let's dive into the quick facts of this monumental album.
Yeah, Trey, I gotta say, a man of my age should know this album inside and out, and I actually do not know this album. I know the songs, just I don't know, I guess during this time it came out as a debut studio album released in August of 1991. I guess at this time I was 20 years old, and I wasn't really digging the rock scene at the time, so I do dig the sound of Pearl Jam. Not an immediate chart success either, but in late 92, so over a year later, it was number 2 in the U.S. It sold over 13 million copies. It's 209 on the Rolling Stone Top 500 Albums of All Time. Now, I think I might have done this research before the brand new Rolling Stone list came out. I can't remember. In 2013, a Rolling Stone Readers poll named it the greatest debut album of all time, and it spent a whopping 261 weeks on the Billboard charts, making it one of the top 15 charting albums ever.
Yeah, and a little bit about how kind of Pearl Jam formed, since this is the debut, and just how this record came about. You had the disbanding of Jeff Ament and guitarist Stone Gossard's previous group, Mother Love Bone, and they recruited, of course, Eddie Vedder, the vocalist, guitarist Mike McCready, to form Pearl Jam in 1990. Most of the songs began as instrumental jams, to which Vedder added lyrics about topics such as depression, homelessness, and abuse. Though it is classified, of course, the Pearl Jam is one of the big grunge bands, along with Nirvana, Alice in Chains, and Soundgarden. 10's musical style is often cited as being influenced by classic rocks and combines a, quote, expansive harmonic vocabulary with an anthemic sound.
Yeah, and I mean, the background's interesting, how Eddie became part of a group. He was in San Diego. He got a copy of the demo in September of 1990, just the instrumental part, given to him by former Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer Jack Irons. Vedder listened to the demo, went surfing, and then wrote lyrics the next day for Dollar Short, a Egyptian Crave, well, I think, but it's AGY, and Footsteps. Dollar Short and Egyptian Crave were later retitled Alive and Once, respectively. Gossard and Ament heard the demo with Vedder's vocals and lyrics and were impressed enough, because he just mailed it to him, right? This is pre all the technology we have. They were impressed enough to fly him out to Seattle for an audition. Meanwhile, Vedder had written lyrics for E-Ballad retitled Black. Vedder arrived on October 13th, 1990, and rehearsed with the band, now joined by drummer Dave Crewson, for a week, writing 11 songs in the process. He was soon hired as the band singer, and the group signed to Epic Records shortly thereafter. The band was first named Mookie Blaylock. I'm guessing they love the basketball player Mookie Blaylock, former Atlanta Hawk and Oklahoma Sooner. They entered London Bridge Studios in Seattle in March of 1991. In subsequent years, though, band members have actually, I read this several places, several different interviews over time, have expressed dissatisfaction with the way the album's mixing turned out. All the lyrics on this album are written by Eddie. Most of the music was composed by the other guys.
Well, we're going to start this off with a song we are both familiar with. As I was looking at the track list, it seems, we got the heavy hitters front loaded here.
Yeah, we played a lot of these on our live streams,
we have Once, and, since this is the, full record version and not just like what you would hear on the radio, it is preceded by a brief interlude on the album's, closing hidden track, Master Slave. So that's at the start before we get into the proper song. It's the middle chapter of a trilogy of songs in which Vedder later describes as a mini opera entitled Mama Son, with it being preceded by a live, which we actually have a song reaction up on the channel
We do.
too, followed by Footstep. And Want tells the tale of a man's descent into madness, which leads him into becoming a serial killer.
The only thing I find interesting, because it's the middle of the trilogy, I don't know why they had it first
No,
and
yeah,
not
they-
alive, but whatever.
Do a
man.
little Pulp Fiction type stuff, put it all out of
Put
order.
it all out of order, man.
But on YouTube, the music will not be in just due to copyright, but there is going to be a link down below, y'all, with the full video with the music included. But we're going to have the lyrics pulled up on our respective screens. Just kind of take in, enjoy, and absorb the track, and then afterwards give our reaction to it. So thank you, Alan. Looking forward to this one.
Definitely.
Once starting us off, man, what a killer opener from that opening. It was about 40 seconds from Master Slave, and then coming in that riff slowly in the background, then it just explodes. And now that I've heard the song, of course, never like dove into the lyrics, and now that I know it's kind of in the middle of you can really kind of read those interpretations in that.
Yeah, I agree 100%, man. I think it's that's the only thing when you go in hard like this. Like I love the song, I love the instrumentation on it. You lose the lyrics a little bit if you're not really paying attention to it. So yeah.
Well, I love Eddie's delivery on this, especially at the end where he starts almost like his voice, really, really strained, what? And you could just feel the emotion and the passion. And going dissecting the song, it starts off, I admit it, what's to say, I'll relive it without pain. Backstreet Lover on the side of the road. He says he's got a 16 gauge buried under his clothes. So we're assuming he's, killed somebody.
Yeah.
And he's going to relive it without any pain. So you already start to see some of the, serial killer type of vibes in it.
Exactly.
And then once upon a time I could control myself. Once upon a time I could lose myself. But, those days are kind of over. The days of controlling.
Yeah, exactly. And he goes, try and mimic what's insane. I am in it. Where do I stand? And I got a Backstreet Lover on the passenger seat. I got my hand in my pocket, so determined, discreet, I pray. And then the chorus again, and then a nice solo. And then the interlude, he's kind of like just speaking, you think I got my eyes closed, I've been looking at you the whole effing time. So,
and then
let you know.
And then the outro, once upon a time I could love myself, once upon a time I could love you, and now both those things are gone. So you kind of see a man at the end of his rope, so to speak. So
For sure.
What a killer way to open the record. And now we're going to go to one of their most famous tunes, another great track, the second single, Even Flow.
Yeah, the second single, as you said, and Jeff said, I knew it was a great song all along, and I felt that it was the best song, that we got the worst take on the first record. There were 100 takes on that song, and we just never nailed it. And I read stuff other guys in the band said the same. They all felt this way about this song, that they just never got it right.
That's always ironic when one of your biggest tunes is something that...
Yeah, I guess you know what you want it to sound like, and we don't, so we think it sounds great. So, yeah.
Even Flow coming in. Again, both familiar with this tune.
Yes.
But I found it interesting just going from the last. Kind of followed the same structure where, we had our first couple verses and then we had a mean guitar solo, man.
Yes. Great guitar solo.
Mike McCready coming in here, just killing it. That's I think that's one of the things that, sets apart like Pearl Jam from, another obviously popular group like Nirvana is
True.
The guitar solos are a step above. Just fantastic tune. And again, tackling a heavy topic yet again.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Even the chorus, even flow, thoughts arrive like butterflies. Oh, he don't know, so he chases him away. Oh, someday yet he'll begin his life again. Ah, whispering hands gently lead him away, him away, him away. I think this one, when it starts, the second it starts, it's got that Eddie delivery. Like, the second it starts, it's Pearl Jam. It is the quintessential, Pearl Jam tune in that his vocals and the guitars are just banging.
Yeah, and the topic is about homelessness. We're starting, he's resting his head on a pillow made of concrete. Eddie continues to, detail out kind of what this guy's thinking, what he's going through, just kind of the nomadic life. A homeless person leads, faces that he sees time again. Ain't that familiar? He can't help it when he looks happy. He looks insane. There's a lot of realities that kind of come that are harsh, but they're true, man, for a lot of people around the world, man. And
you can get there like get there a lot easier than a lot of people think. Verse 2, kneeling, looking through the paper, though he doesn't know how to read. Oh, praying now to something that has never showed him anything. Oh, feeling, understands the weather of the winter's on its way. Because this guy's out on the street, man. He's going to freeze.
And then ceilings few and far between, don't have a place to stay that often, man. So, yeah, man, another, what a 1-2 punch to start the record off.
Very serious, hard-hitting lyrics, as I mentioned in the last one, not just some sort of hard rocking thing.
And now we're going to go to another heavy hitter. We got Alive, which we did a song reaction to months ago. Man, this song is special as well. The debut single, released July 1991, 51 days before the release of the record. So.
Yeah, it was written, it was composed, I should say. So that's the music itself by Stone Gossard. The song originated as an instrumental titled Dollar Short, which I talked about in the beginning. 16 in the UK, 9 in Australia. Only available through import in the US. So it was not able to chart on the Billboard Hot 100. Those days are long gone now that we can pull everything up however we want. But song is the first piece of that trilogy of the mini opera. This one tells the story of a young man discovering that the man he thought was his father is actually his stepfather, while his mother's grief leads to an incestuous relationship with the son who strongly resembles the biological father. This leads to Once, in which the man descends into madness and goes on a killing spree that we already heard, and then Footsteps later on, in which the man is eventually looking back from a prison cell, awaiting his execution. It has been revealed by Vedder to be part autobiographical and part fiction. When Vedder was a teenager, his mother revealed to him that the man he thought was his father was actually his stepfather, and that his biological father was dead. The first and last verses detail those actual events, but the second verse is storytelling on Vedder's part. Yeah, I mean, Eddie dove right in on this thing and got super serious and super personal. You got to love it. So let's go to Alive.
We do our overall score and 3 favorite tracks at the end. That one's going to be tough to take out of my top.
Me too.
Top 3, man. Why? I know we've already, done a reaction to it and all that and are familiar with the track. But, listening to it in the album context, man, 3 songs that deal with heavy, heavy topics, just boom, 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 right in a row.
Yeah, and I mean, it starts out just like we talked about. It starts off, son, she said, I've got a little story for you. What you thought was your daddy was nothing but while you were sitting alone home alone at age 13, your real daddy was dying. Sorry you didn't see him, but I'm glad we talked. Then we go into that chorus.
The chorus, very anthemic.
Very anthemic. Then the second verse is about the incestuous relationship.
That's right.
And then the third verse is something wrong. She said, of course there is. You're still alive. She said, oh, and do I deserve to be? Is that the question? If so, who answers? Who answers? Then you go in the chorus. And then I think the hard guitar solo to go out fits the seriousness of the song so well. And I think it's interesting in certain verses, in certain parts of it, he's almost speaking it. He dials himself back, which actually draws you in more.
No, definitely. That's a good point, Dad. And I like the chorus, too. The, oh, I'm still alive. It can be taken either negatively, like all this stuff's happened to me and gosh, I'm still alive. Or it could be in a more positive bent, which I know a lot of fans of Pearl Jam have done. Like, man, I've gone through all this BS and I'm still here. I'm still alive. Almost like a rallying cry type of deal. So I think that's cool how that has that double interpretation, so to speak. And now we're going to the first track on here we're not familiar with. The second shortest song on here, Why Go? So
and it's supposedly about a girl who was put in a mental hospital against her will and without any mental illness. It refers to the lack of motivation to go back home after spending time unjustly in this place. And supposedly Leash is the sequel to this story.
All right, well, I'm keeping the heavy topics going.
Yeah,
Let's
I don't think we're going to dial off that any.
Why Go coming in as track number 4.
Definitely about what I said at the start.
Yeah, definitely, man. From that first verse, man, you can tell she's scratching that letter into the wall made of stone. Maybe someday another child won't feel as alone as she does. It's been 2 years, man. That's tough. 2 years in this place.
Since they put me in this place, she's been diagnosed with some stupid F, and mommy agrees. And then we get the whole why go home? Why go? Why would you go back home?
Well, yeah,
when you were treated this way, and that you're obviously not wanted there.
If you got a dumb doctor, and then you're, your mom agrees with that.
You're trapped,
as well.
Man.
Like, what's the point? Why would I even try to leave this place, man? And I love the use of Eddie's profanity here, man. We've had it a couple times already in this record. It adds adds that seriousness.
It
and
does,
just,
man.
like,
It adds a punch to it. It's not just there just for some gratuitous thing.
And then it kind of notes, oh, she could go along with the flow, but that would just make her another clone, man. And then the daughter's kind of mentioning, why go home? What you taught me put you here. Don't come visit, mother. Sing me, so she's kind of going at her mom here with that. And that guitar solo was different than any other solo we've had up to this point. Not very long, but it was coming in fast and
I agree.
Psychedelic,
a little
bit in there
psychedelic,
too.
which kind of fits the topic. So.
Yeah, so really, not as strong as the first 3 tracks, but I mean, I didn't expect that, but still really
good,
solid.
really solid.
And now back on another track that we're both familiar with, we got Black coming in, man. And this one, they wanted to release this as a single.
Yeah, the record company did, Epic Records.
Yeah, after this really blew up popularity, but the band refused, citing the song's personal nature. And Eddie had a bit to say about the track.
Yeah, he said it's about first relationships. This song is about letting go. It's very rare for a relationship to withstand the Earth's gravitational pull and where it's going to take people and how they're going to grow. I've said it that you can't really have a true love unless it was a love unrequited. It's a harsh one, because then your truest one is the one you can't have forever. In May of 2011, it was voted as the 9th best ballad of all time by readers of Rolling Stone magazine.
Hey.
So that is a high score for the ballad by Pearl Jam, man.
So again, probably one of their more famous songs of all time as well. It's a great one. So let's get it. What a powerful. I mean, I've been using that word a lot on this review, but man, just what a emotionally impactful tune, especially that outro, man, where Eddie's just going do 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 do, and that guitar is just almost crying out in itself,
Yeah, I think the power of his voice, which obviously is on every single song, it's one of their trademarks, but the power of his voice works really well with stripped back instrumentation. Sometimes that isn't the case with guys who can bang out these hard rocking songs like he can, but he's got the voice to carry this. And one of the things I didn't mention is Eddie actually, they didn't trust Epic Records. They thought they were going to release it as a single anyway. Eddie actually called radio stations himself all over the country going, they didn't release this as a single, did they? So I thought that was kind of funny, man. But yeah, I mean, it just shows the bittersweetness of what he kind of said in that quote, that, you can't really be with the one that you love from his standpoint.
No, yeah, and that's dealt out in that first verse. I like the line, now the air I tasted and breathed has taken a turn, and all I taught her was everything. I know she gave me all that she wore. So, this relationship, they both gave a lot to each other, even though it didn't work out at the end of the day. And then he kind of notes in that depressed state, I walk outside, I'm surrounded by some kids at play. I can feel their laughter, so why do I see her? Twisted thoughts that spin around my head. I'm spinning, how quick the sun can drop away. And then, of course, a lovely lyric in the chorus, all the pictures have been washed in black, tattooed everything, because whenever your heart's broken, by anything, but especially in a relationship, it just kind of puts a rain cloud over you.
Yeah, of course. And the chorus takes a little turn. There's one line a little bit different. And now my bitter hands chafe. And the first chorus is beneath the clouds. The second one, he's cradling the broken glass.
Right.
So I thought that was pretty cool in there. And then go ahead.
No, yeah, you can go.
No, and then the post-chorus, all the love gone bad, turned my world to black, tattooed all I see, all that I am, and all I'll be, yeah. So that's it, man. He's kind of gone, well. And then the bridge is great.
The bridge, he kind of notes, man, she'll find somebody else who will, she'll be a star in somebody else's sky, but why? Why can't it be be mine? And then you go to that awesome solo. This, again, definitely will be making a run for top 3 tracks, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to beat. But.
Just killer. And we just keep the killer tunes coming, man.
Yeah.
As we go to Jeremy, another one of their more famous tracks ever. 3rd single, went to 5 on both the mainstream and modern rock Billboard charts. Didn't go in the Hot 100 because it wasn't released as a commercial single in the U.S.
Yeah, which is crazy.
It was released in 95 and still charted at 79. Not bad for all those years later. And it was awarded 4 MTV Music Awards, including Best Video of the Year.
And I feel like this is their iconic song, I guess because of the video, so it's surprising that it didn't have great success on the charts. But it's based on 2 different stories, true stories. Its main inspirations from a newspaper article about a 15-year-old boy from Richardson, Texas, which is about 15
I was
minutes
about
from
to
where
say.
we are right now, who shot himself in front of his teacher in his second period English class of 30 students in the morning of January 8th, 1991. First of all, I can't imagine as a former educator, just like for
Yeah.
me as a teacher, but for those kids to see that, you'll never get that out of your head. In a 2009 interview, Vetter said that he felt, quote, the need to take that small article and make something of it, to give that action, to give it reaction, to give it more importance. And then he said it came from a small paragraph in a paper, which means you kill yourself and you make it a big old sacrifice and try to get your revenge. Then all you're going to end up with is a paragraph in a newspaper. 64 degrees and cloudy in a suburban neighborhood. That's the beginning of the video, and that's the same thing in the end. It does nothing. Nothing changes. The world goes on and you're gone. The best revenge is to live on, improve yourself, be stronger than those people, and then you can come back. So that was a fantastic thing. And the second story had a more personal thing to it.
Yeah, second story involved a student that Vetter knew in junior high in San Diego, California. He elaborated in 1991. I actually knew somebody in junior high that did the same thing, just about, didn't take his life, but ended up shooting up an oceanography room. I don't even know what an oceanography room is. So San Diego,
I guess probably some sort of
schools.
science room maybe in there.
We don't got the ocean
No,
here
no,
in
we-
Texas.
no, we
man.
don't.
I remember being in the halls and hearing it, and I had actually had altercations with this kid in the past. I was kind of a rebellious fifth grader, and I think we got in fights and stuff. So it's a bit about this kid named Jeremy, and it's also a bit about a kid named Brian that I knew. And I don't know the song. I think it says a lot. I think it goes somewhere, and a lot of people interpret it different ways. And it's just been recently that I've been talking about the true meaning behind it. I hope no one's offended. And believe me, I think of Jeremy when I sing it.
Yeah,
so.
and Jeremy was the kid in Richardson, Texas. I didn't mention that.
Yeah, so Jeremy Wade Dell. So, heavy topic matter continues to go, man. And let's dive into this classic. I've obviously heard the song before, but never like dove into the meaning of it. So knowing that, it made this even more powerful.
Yeah, and it's something that, like I told you, I wasn't huge into this time in the rock music world, but I'd still have MTV on in the background because that's what I grew up on before, we turned it into not music television. And so this video came on all the time. Obviously, you talked about the video awards that it won. So I guess really on this song, I really don't know anything except for the chorus. Like the chorus is classic. That's what I think of when you say Pearl Jam. I think of that Jeremy. So yeah, what a hard hitting song, man. Just what a hard hitting song.
Well, and I like knowing too the Brian, who Eddie knew growing up, because that kind of comes into...
in verse 2.
Because if you didn't know that, you'd think maybe he's still speaking about
Right,
Jeremy.
exactly. That's what it seems like.
But now that you know that, that last line makes a little more sense in the second verse, just like the day I heard, because he's talking about how he got hit with a surprise left by Brian there, and his jaw left hurting, dropped wide open his jaw, just like the day I heard about
him opening fire,
Jeremy.
the oceanography.
Yeah, so it's a freaking powerful tune, man, and you just kind of think of, I think we all grew up when going to school with kids that we very well could have seen do this, like just those kids that didn't have a lot of friends, maybe were a little bit different.
Yeah.
And I mean, even in the pre-chorus, Daddy didn't give him affection, and the boy was something that Mommy wouldn't wear. King Jeremy the Wicked, ruled his world. Maybe he, I'm just speculating here, maybe he did that. Maybe he kills himself in that way because, hey, maybe this can at least give me some attention and I can at least control this compared to my own
and I
life.
think that's what Eddie was talking about. Does you no good. You get a paragraph and life goes on and people forget you the next day. But he made sure we didn't forget Jeremy.
I was about to say, no, that is kind of cool how he was able to write
and
this.
This is way before this stuff came to the forefront, school shootings and stuff. And man, just what a hard hitting track.
And I mean, even just the chorus, Jeremy spoke in class today. That's such a simple line, man, but just with the preceding, stuff in it, it's just so powerful. And utilizing the, try to erase this from the blackboard, going in with the school stuff was great, man. Just a fantastic tune. Shout out to the drumming as well at the end there. And now we're gonna go. I don't know any of the rest of
I don't either.
songs.
I don't think I do at least. So we go to Oceans. Track number 7, their fourth single. Here's what Eddie said. I remember for Ocean, someone asked me to put change in the parking meter for them. I went and did that, and then I came back and was locked out. It was drizzling, and I wasn't dressed for an outing in the rain. I'm just picturing, you run out, you put it in,
right.
come back in, I had a scrap of paper and a pen in my pocket, and they were playing this song inside. All I could hear was the bass coming through the wall, this window that was boarded up. So I wrote the song to the bass. I wasn't even listening to hear the song at first. When I heard a break, I'd start pounding on the door, trying to get out of the rain. So I was doing that. I thought, F it, I might as well write something. When the band joined the album's mixer, Tim Palmer, in June of 91 in England for mixing, Palmer overdubbed a pepper shaker and a fire extinguisher as percussion on this track. Palmer said, the reason I use those items was purely because we're so far from a music rental shop, and necessity became the mother of invention. Hey, he's in England. Sounds a little something like the lads from Liverpool would have done back in the 60s. But interesting that Eddie goes, they're playing the music loud in the place he's staying at, and they don't hear him when he comes back knocking on the door. I can only imagine what words might have been fired off, or that I might have fired off.
Definitely the... shortest lyrically here, and also
the
lightest tune we've had up to this
point.
point.
And I think knowing the story of how it was written kind of explains both of those things in a lot of ways. Well, I mean, I could see an angry one as you're out there in the freaking rain, but, kudos to Eddie, he made the best of it. But yeah, I could see why it's shorter, And,
it is about... essentially two people that are looking like a long distance relationship here. He's thinking and we're allowed to dream of the next time we touch. We don't have to stray, though oceans away, they're a long way apart. Waves roll in my thoughts. Hold tight the ring, the sea will rise. Please stand by the shore. I will be there once more. So, he's going to be back. That's
basically the whole song.
Right he'll be there once more. Not going to be a favorite for me, but I still liked it, man.
No, me neither, but I did like the difference, that shows the versatility of the band, and especially of Eddie.
No, definitely, the intro and outro, I guess that was the intro and outro guitar, very light and pleasant, almost like I had a watery type of effect, and a little vocal effects in there, too, that were neat in that second verse. And now we're going to go to the next tune, only 3.5 minutes. We got Porch, man. Porch coming in. I'm curious. What do you think the song's about?
I swear to you, man. That's what I was going to ask you. I mean, is he about to get maybe killed?
Well, that could be it. Or I'm thinking maybe you didn't leave a message. At least I could have learned your voice one last time. Maybe this relationship was cut off. Maybe she just up and left him. I don't know.
But, I mean, Daily Minefield, this could be my time by you. Maybe this means he's not going to see her anymore, but would you hit me? Would you hit me? And then all the bills go and initiatives are taken up by the middle. There ain't going to be any middle anymore. And the cross I'm bearing home ain't indicative of my place. Left the porch. And then he's like, hear my name, take a good look. This could be the day. Hold my hand, walk beside me. I just need to say, I don't know, man.
Well, yeah, that's an interesting interpretation you got, but
I might be totally wrong, guys.
No, you could kind of read that into it as well. This is those authentic first reactions, man. I was thinking maybe he had this broken relationship, and now the bills are, I don't know, maybe piling up, and he's just seeing, this is just BS of life. By the middle, there ain't going to be any middle anymore. Is he almost like a middleman, And now he's saying, I'm done with all this BS type of thing. Left the porch. Maybe he's leaving his house, his life behind. I don't know.
Or there ain't no middle class anymore, and so he's got to go do what he's got to do. I don't know.
Because then he knows, I could not take just one day. I know when I would not ever touch you, hold you, feel you in my arms. Maybe that line makes me think there was a love interest involved, but I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Be curious.
I couldn't find anything on this. I did a bunch of research. I could not find anything on this song. Now I'm going to have to go back and really try to find it.
Well, and let us know, y'all, who are longtime Pearl Jam
Yeah,
fans.
I'm sure some of you know what it means.
So. And who knows, man? That is a mark, though, of a cool song where you can kind of try to dissect what's going on. Again, great guitar work here by McCready, I thought.
And definitely different than the last time.
Yeah.
They're showing some diversity here as we get into the second half of the album, and I really do like that.
No, same here, man. And now we're going to go to a 5-minute tune. We have Garden.
Have you noticed, I don't know if you noticed this, but I mean, even with 10, all these... For the album title itself, all but 2 songs only have one word, and that's Even Flow and Why Go are very short.
Yeah.
Everything else is one word, including 10. I'm sure I would think there's some sort of reasoning behind that outside of what I have any knowledge of, but I'm sure once again you guys do.
Makes it a nice and a kind of little Easter egg over
there.
there.
Yeah, a little succinct there.
All right, Garden. I'm gonna have to add that to the
Oh.
songs, man.
Oh.
This is my favorite song. I've heard that from one of the tunes I wasn't already familiar
Sure.
with. I thought this was another fantastic tune. Shout out to the guitar work on here. Shout out to Mike McCready. I talked about it a little in the reaction, but I like the fact on his solos that he's able to make each one unique on
Yeah,
these songs.
for sure.
It has kind of the same type of vibe a little bit in there, but like on this one he held some of those notes longer. Had a little almost bluesy esque nature, a little bit bluesy psychedelic, just blending that into its own unique palette there. But my interpretation of the track is this guy's maybe a soldier and maybe captured or something, and he's maybe marching to death or marching to something. I'm not sure. That's
with the chorus, I will walk with my hands bound, I will walk with my face blood, I will walk with my shadow flag into your garden, garden of stone.
and maybe it just
Still could be relationship too.
No, that's true. I for me on this one, I was getting a little more kind of military-esque vibe, but I think you could also, when it says even at the start, she don't wander in here, don't wander in here. So you could also, do that relationship.
Could, yeah. I mean, verse 1, the direction of the eye is so misleading, the deflection of the soul nauseously quick. I don't question our existence. I just question our modern needs. It's a great line, man.
Yeah, I'm really digging Eddie's lyricism on this, and also just a lot of these tracks can, I think, lend to multiple interpretations, which is again, I think, another mark of a great songwriter and lyricist. So I just really dug this one. Again, kind of had that pattern of that solo towards the second half of the track before going out with a booming chorus and outro. But
fantastic, man.
Only 2 tracks left. This one's gone quick, even though it clocks in over 50 minutes. We got Deep coming up next, our penultimate track. So
and I don't got anything on this, so let's get it.
Lived up to its name as a deep track, man.
It is a deep track. On the edge of a windowsill, ponders his maker, ponders his will. To the street below, he just ain't nothing, but he's got a great view. And he sinks the needle deep, he can't touch the bottom, in too deep, he can't touch the bottom.
So I initially I was thinking, okay, he's at the windowsill on the edge, looking down at the street below. Maybe this guy's about to jump.
Yeah, that's what I thought at first.
But he sinks the needle deep, and he uses, Eddie uses that writing technique at the end of each verse of sinking, something deep. So here, sinking the needle deep, what did you think of? You think of, heroin or just drugs in general.
Right, exactly.
Injecting that. And then, that second verse, that's the only one I don't know because it says he sinks the burning knife deep. At the end. I don't know, but he's on the edge of a know-nothing town. He's, to the sky above, he just ain't nothing, but he's got a great view. And then that chorus that can't touch the bottom in too deep, can't touch the bottom in too deep. I wonder, that's kind of almost like a paradox. You would think if you're in very deep, you're getting close to the bottom,
That's
right?
true.
But Eddie kind of flips that on his head. It's almost like this guy's living an incredibly destructive life. Maybe doesn't care if he lives or dies.
Yeah, that's a good takeaway from that.
And then I think the third verse, my interpretation, maybe he's got a gal. She's young virgin down from heaven. I'm thinking heaven's maybe a better part of town than is in town.
Visiting hell in his bad part of town.
To the man above her, she ain't nothing, and she doesn't like the view. She doesn't like the view, but he sinks himself deep. So I'm feeling some sexual vibes in that one. So who knows? There could be a darker turn. I don't know if that would be consensual or not. But you're just going, man. It's a very heavy song, and I really enjoyed this one too, man. Again, great guitar work.
Yeah, it's really good. Really, harder hitting. And we're finally up to the last track on the American version, and that's the version we're going over, called Release. It's over 9 minutes long. The song's about Eddie dealing with the reality that his father is actually his stepfather in real life, and he never knew his real father. Very evident in the lyrics, they say. He has respected the spiritual nature of the song's inception, and to this day, Eddie refuses to commit the lyrics to paper.
Hey.
On release, everyone plugged in their guitars and started this kind of tinkling, and I started humming, moaning, or whatever. And then all of a sudden, it was like a 6-minute song that totally rolled and peaked. Those words, I still refuse to write them down, even if they need them for publishing. I won't write them down. That was just something I hadn't experienced. It was so intense. So
Well,
that's quite the build up.
An
right?
intense album gonna culminate with an intense
song.
track.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, after this, y'all, we'll get to our favorite tracks and overall score. I'm excited. Let's get it. With that nice little hidden track at the end too, man.
If you watch the start of it, and of the introduction of the song, and you're a great Pearl Jam fan, you didn't watch the whole reaction to the song. You knew that the song itself was not 9 minutes long. The hidden track was the last 4 minutes in there.
But starting with Release, man. I thought it was a great closer, great climax to this record.
Oh yeah, tremendous.
Thematically, musically, could definitely tell Eddie's emotions, especially in just the O's at the end of each voice or verse, rather.
Yeah.
And I mean, even starting, I see the world, feel the chill, which way to go, windowsill. Which way to go made me kind of think, he's got his stepfather, who we knew was his, real dad, and then his dad that he didn't know at all, that he won't have the opportunity to know since he passed away. So, and he even calls out to his dad in that second verse.
Yeah, he says, "Oh, dear dad, can you see me now? I am myself like you somehow. I'll ride the wave where it takes me. I'll hold the pain, release me. Oh. So,
and that's an interesting concept too. I am myself like you somehow. I really enjoyed that line because even though he didn't know his dad, he obviously has the physical makeup of him.
Right, exactly. And then verse 3, he has those same first two lines he does in verse 2, but then he builds into, I'll wait up in the dark for you to speak to me, how I've opened up, release me, release me, release me, release me. So just a little play on words there as he's just kind of working it out as we know from the story of the song. And then the hidden track comes in.
Oh yeah, we had that silence and a little hidden track,
which was totally different than anything else on this album.
Yeah, not really any lyrics in the whole Master Slave as it's
what a
dubbed.
world music-ish.
Yeah, and that's maybe where I was thinking the percussion-esque. Yeah. I was all like, this has a. It's
really gutsy for your debut album to do that. I love that, the little master, the little hidden in there.
So what and it kind of has that circular since once starts with the 40 seconds of that too.
Exactly.
So kind of cool, man. Really, really a great record, just all the way around. And that is going to take us now to our favorite tracks. Man, there's a lot to choose on.
There is
on this one for sure. For me, I got to go with Black.
I'm with that too.
Alive.
I'm with that too.
And then, I wanted to give a love to a song that I wasn't already familiar with coming in here. So I'm going to go with Garden, man. I thought that one was fantastic. Release kind of, made a big push there at the end as well to maybe sneak in. But you could go with so many tracks on here.
Lunch, you go with Jeremy, you go with a lot of stuff. I'm going to go with Alive, Black, and believe it or not, Trey, just because it's so much different, Oceans, right? Give that fourth single some love. Just a little different, man.
Interesting, man. Yeah, I like it. I'm sure you ask a bunch of Pearl Jam fans their top 3 from this. You could get so many different answers.
Let us know.
Because they're. And that then transitions us into our overall score of the record, man. And I think that brings up a good point that I didn't think there was a weak song on this.
No, there's not.
Album.
There's absolutely not.
Even the ones that maybe weren't as iconic, they're still pretty darn good, man. Yeah, and some underrated hidden gems for me in here. I thought this record was fantastic, man. It's one of those albums that you hear a bunch of hype of, and it actually, I think, lives up to the hype.
It does too.
Sometimes that's not the case, but this one did it, and did it quite well. Big fan of Eddie's lyrics and vocal style. I know that some people hang up with the Pearl Jam.
I know, I like it a lot.
Eddie's voice, man, he's got so much power, and for a record that deals with so many heavy topics, I think you need a vocalist that is
I do too.
Gonna be able to buckle down and
you
bring
can't ballad these things out, man.
So man, what a fantastic album. On definitely one I'll be spinning again and again, just for how strong it is front to back. First listen for me, I'm going in real strong. I'm feeling a nice 8.75 on this one. Just iconic, man, and really love the sound, the guitar work. Shout out to everybody in the group, man, for just bringing a unique sound and just that energy and passion that these songs brought forth.
Yeah, I don't have a lot more to add to what you said. I totally kind of mirror everything you said. For me, my grade is going to be right at an 8.25 to an 8.5. So I mean, just fantastic. This is kind of my style of stuff that I love. It's kind of crazy, kind of kind of shame on me for never getting into it before this, but a fantastic thing that Alan brought to us, man.
No.
We much appreciated.
Definitely, and let us know your thoughts, your favorite tracks, your thoughts on 10 in general. I know some of y'all have probably been jamming to this, no pun intended, for decades now.
Yeah.
And again, shout out to Alan. Really, really fun one to do. I'm glad we did it, and we're able to put it up on this channel. Dad, shout out to you for all the research.
This one was interesting, man, because a lot of deep meaning behind these songs.
And until next time, y'all, thanks for watching. Happy listening, and we will see you.